Hey everyone, welcome back to another Diablo 4 video. In this video, I'm going to go over a Sorcerer build that I've been using. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's been helping me through my leveling journey from level 1 to 25. And even now being level 25 and running through the dungeons and the world in general, I found that this build is actually quite fun and also powerful. So an overview on what this build is: my left click, I have Frostbolt. My core skill, which is my right click, is Chain Lightning. Then I have Ice Armor, Flame Shield, Hydra, and Deep Freeze as my ultimate. As far as my skill tree, how I have it set up, I have Frostbolt. I only did 1 point. I unlocked Enhanced Frostbolt. Then I went into the Flickering Frostbolt. And this is mainly to apply that vulnerable and to help chill and freeze enemies. Then when I went into my Chain Lightning, I ended up maxing out my Chain Lightning 5 out of 5. Then I went Enhanced Chain Lightning and Greater Chain Lightning. So this pretty much allows your Chain Lightning to bounce off enemies and increase the damage that they take. Or I'm sorry, it deals increased damage. And this alone helps with AoE clearing. It's pretty nice. Then for my armor, I decided to go run 2 armors rather than using something that just only doing 1 armor and then using other skills that apply other resources. So like for example, in my mastery skills, I don't have anything, because for me, being a caster, I want to make sure I utilize my mana efficiently. So the only thing that's costing mana is my Chain Lightning and then also my Hydra, but the Hydra stays there for a while once you summon it. So I opted for double barriers because of the added benefits that they have. So I'll go over it individually. So the Ice Armor just creates a barrier and you absorb damage. And then I also have Enhanced Ice Armor, which increases my mana regeneration by 25%. Then Mystical Ice Armor, which damage to vulnerable enemies contribute 100% more to Ice Armor's barrier. So this has a good duration of a barrier. It increases your mana regeneration and increases damage to those who are vulnerable. Then with the Flame Shield, what's cool about this one is while this is active, yes, it's only for 2 seconds, but you're immune during this time. Enemies take some damage from your Flame Shield. And when I clicked on Enhanced Flame Shield, I get increased movement speed by 25%. And then Mystical Flame Shield, which gains 25% mana cost reduction. So that being stacked with this one where I have increased mana generation, I have mana cost reduction. So that's to help mitigate, so that way I can cast more Chain Lightnings and make sure Hydra's up all the time. Then I also added Elemental Attunement, where Lucky Strikes, critical strikes have a 5% chance to reset the cooldown of one of your defensive skills. It can only happen once every 10 seconds. When this activates, it's pretty nice. There's been times when I'll always be able to have 1 barrier available. And depending on how you play it, you could either activate bolts at the same time or you could stagger them. And I found that depending on the situation, like if you stagger, by the time one is up, the other one is already available because sometimes this activates. Then I have Hydra for my Conjuration. I went Enhanced Hydra because I get an additional Hydra head. Then Summoned Hydra. Hydra burns enemies for an additional 12% of its base damage dealt over 6 seconds. So I have an additional Hydra, and then it does increase damage, and that applies the damage over time effect. Then for the mastery skills, I didn't choose a skill, but I went down to this tree with Static Discharge, and this stacks with the Chain Lightning. Then for ultimate skill, I decided to go Deep Freeze because during this time you become immune, you continually deal damage, you apply chilling, and then I went Prime Deep Freeze. You gain 10% of your base life as a barrier for 6 seconds for each enemy you froze while it was active. Supreme Deep Freeze, when Deep Freeze ends, your non-ultimate cooldowns are reduced by 50%. So this helps you stay immune, gives you barrier, does damage, and it freezes and chills enemies. So this pretty much makes sure that you take like little damage, and this helps with the cooldown reductions. That way your other armors are back up and ready to go. So that's the route I went with the skills. Now you could feel free to tinker with it however you want, but this is what worked for me. Granted, it might not be the most optimal thing to use, but this has been the most fun build, and it's been quite effortless to play. So I'm going to go over the gameplay with this type of build. So I'm going to cast my barrier, Hydra, Chain Lightning. See, they're dead already. Let's see if I can get a group together. There we go, here's the group. Throwing down my Hydra, Chain Lightning. It's zapping everything. Flame Shield. Ice barriers back up. Everything just dies. I'm gonna get a bigger group. Cast my Hydra. I'm gonna use my ultimate. See, I'm immune, everything freezes. My shields are back up. I'm doing ice and fire together. See, I was able to stack it. So that's another option you can do. We cast my Hydra. Got my Chain Lightning, just zaps everything. Chain Lightning is very strong. See, enemy instantly defeated. Yeah, I just do a few left clicks with my Frostbolt. I play my Chain Lightning. I make sure I have a Hydra up at all times. When I'm about to engage an enemy, I activate my shield. See, I had my Frost Shield. Now the next pack, I'll do my Flame Shield. Flame Shield is up, Hydra. My ultimate skill, everything dies. And see, my Frost Shield is back up again. And the Flame Shield's already almost up too. My Hydra. See how the lightning bounces everywhere? Press Hydra, do the same. It's pretty much able just to stand there and tank it. Obviously you can play more passively, keep your distance, but it just shows you how easy it is to play this build. I was running this type of setup while I was leveling, and it worked tremendously. Having the double shield helps with not taking as much damage, helps with your it helps with maintaining your mana, and then having the Hydra has really good damage. The Chain Lightning is good damage, and it's really great for clearing a bunch of enemies when the Chain Lightning spreads. But yeah, so that's my Sorcerer build. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.